Hi friends, my name is Anastasia and welcome to the Dream and Draw Art School. Today we're going to paint a beautiful flower, pink hydrangea, in the shape of a heart. This is a demo version of this lesson and you will get acquainted with my vibrant technique of watercolor sketching and you will see my teaching style. Also, if you want to see the full version of this lesson and other lessons as well, join my Patreon, link in the description. And now let's make the short lines and dots here on the vertical line, and we are making a heart shape. You can change the shape like you want it. You can make it smaller, you can make it even bigger or extended. Just make the heart approximately like this, and then start making circles inside, and the circles can be of different sizes and sometimes they can overlap each other. They can be like an oval shape as well. So sometimes we are making the circles and sometimes we are making the oval shapes for our future flowers. Try to fill the entire space of the heart here. You can even make the half circle lines inside just to show that we have somewhere there the flowers that are underneath the others. Now let's make the point here, the central line, the central point, and we are making the petals. They are looking like rhombuses and I try to make them as different as I can, so they are looking like this. So when we are making the petals, we can again make the petals that are underneath the other petals here, or sometimes they can overlap the petals that are next to them. We can also make the petals like this that are just looking here from the side, and the petals are looking like droplets. By the way, we also have some spaces between the flowers. We can also add some lines inside just to make the filling, just to show that we have some kind of other petals there underneath, like this. So let's begin making the outline with this flower. For example, you can start, well, actually anywhere here. By the way, if you want to, you can change the shape and you can change the amount of the petals. Here I just want to make two at the top. Great, and now let's add some more details inside each flower. So we have the central part and I'm just making several dots and circles, small circles inside each center. So great, now the outline is done and now I'm using the knittable eraser. And let's erase all the pencil. So if you are a beginner, you can watch how I will do this first step, because I will do it as fast as I can, and then you can repeat with me this step again when you will learn the algorithm and you will do the first layer better with a better understanding. So what we are doing now, we are just making the paper wet. I'm pre-wetting the paper with water. Just add some amount of water everywhere on the heart, and then start with the yellow color and start making the top left part of the hydrangea yellow and the bottom right part again with this color. Then, while the paper is still wet, add some amount of pink color and try to make the soft transition from the yellow color to the pink color. Sometimes I'm just mixing on my paper the color I'm using. I'm in the pink and some yellow, and the central part here is more pink, but the sides, the left top side and the right bottom side, they are with the yellow mixture. So the color is like the orangey color there mixed with pink and yellow. And I try to make everything again as fast as I can because we are making the first wash while the paper is still wet. So I'm just continuing making the first layer of the hydrangea. I try to make everything. Here I try to cover everything. So sometimes we have the yellowish shades on the flowers, and sometimes we are using only the pink. Some petals can be more with the yellow, and some petals, the other petals, can be more with the pink. And now I'm just collecting some extra color or extra water from my hydrangea, and then add more dark pink here in the central part, but again try to make the soft transition from the lighter pink to the darker pink color. And again on the right side here I'm adding the darker, the brighter pink. It is not that dark actually, it is just the brighter pink color that I'm using here for the shadow effect. Then again we are making the bottom part here of the heart shape darker and brighter. And you see the colors, they are mixing well just because the paper is still wet. And I try to make soft transitions. Now I'm mixing red plus pink, and I will add this one here and in some areas between the flowers. So we have some spaces, areas there, some spots between the flowers, and I need to make them darker just to show the shadows that are between the flowers there. And that is why we are making the short lines, short strokes with the darker color. And now after adding the mixture of pink plus red here between the flowers, let's use the darker color. I'm using this one, it is the Red Madder Lake. You can use the carmine color as well for this. And I'm just adding this color again between the flowers and in the center of each flower, with 1 or 2 strokes. I'm not coloring the entire central part of each flower. Now I'm just making 1 dot or 1 stroke here for the darker center. Also, if you don't have this kind of color, for example, and you don't have the carmine color, that's okay. You can just mix the red color or pink color plus purple or plus any blue color. Just add a bit more of the red or a bit more of the pink color, and you will get just the darker pink or the darker red color for these shadows. And now let's do the next step. Let's use the smaller brush and let's make some edges on the flowers here softer. You can use the lighter color for this, or you can just blur some color here for the soft contour. And after that, we will make a beautiful effect. We will collect the color, or it is better to call the erasing of the color from the petals like this. So I'm just pressing on my brush and I collect some color from the paper to make the edges of the petals lighter. And also I'm cleaning my brush with water, wiping it with a napkin, and then continuing making the motions like this. I'm pressing on my brush and erasing or collecting the color. Of course, the folds, they should be lighter as well, the folds on the petals. And I'm making the petals lighter, the petals of the main flowers. We can go several times on one petal just to make the contour lighter. The twist should be also light. We are not making the contour white. It is not our aim here. It is not our goal. No, we are just making them lighter using our wet brush and just picking up or erasing the color like this. Now I'm picking again the dark red color And I'm mixing this one with the blue. I'm using the ultramarine blue, and the color is like the dark violet. So also I'm adding a bit of the pink, quinacridone pink or quinacridone rose. And sometimes I'm mixing this one with the red. So we are using this color for more depth, for making more shadows. And the color I have now, I'm using exactly, again, between the flowers and between the petals. Sometimes we can blur the edges using the wet brush. Here on the right bottom part, we have the darkest area inside between the flowers. And as we go upwards, the color for the shadows can be lighter. Okay, so now let's make the shadows on the petals of the main flowers. On the main flowers, we have again some petals that are above and some petals are underneath. So the same thing, the same technique, and I'm making one stroke like this just to show the shadow on the petal that is underneath, like this. Great, and now I'm using the same color, pink, and I'm making some additional strokes for more shadows. Great, so my sketch is completely dry and now I'm picking the white pen and let's add some highlights on the edges and inside each flower. So we have the middle parts here and we have made some circles there, and now I'm just placing some dots, some white dots right on the dark circles that we have made before. Great, so now let's add additional lines on the edges of the petals that we have here. I'm not making the outline of each petal, and I'm making the petals that are from the main flowers, so actually the petals can be also differently highlighted. Okay, so now let's use the black liner and let's make some additional shadows on the petals, on the edges of the petals. Sometimes I make these darker lines in the middle of the flowers as well. So this is just for the contrast that we have, and I'm not covering the white highlights. I try to make the outline darker. Great, our sketch is done, and I hope you had fun creating this beautiful sketch and feel inspired to create more. If you want to see the full version of this lesson, join my Patreon, link in the description. See you in my next lessons.